Hi, I'm Beth from dryitcanit.com. Welcome to episode 3 of Fridge Day Friday. This is where I pull leftovers from my refrigerator and show you what I do with them so that I'm not wasting food and keeping it out of the landfill as well. So today, when I went through the refrigerator, I had kind of an interesting combination. I have some leftover yogurt, probably about 1/3 of a container. It doesn't expire until July 11th, but I've got a lot of leftover yogurt to use in the next week, and I know that I'm going to be traveling some in the next week. I've got a part of a red onion. I've got a bratwurst, one single bratwurst, and I have a few slices of tomato as well as the end of it. So as I started thinking about what I could do with that, I really came up with two things. I thought I could do a variation of a BLT sandwich, so to speak. I could diagonally cut the sausage and fry that up to make it warm, and I could slice some onion and tomato. I have some lettuce in my refrigerator, don't have any cheese, but I thought, well, I could toast some bread, use the yogurt, maybe flavor it with some herbs and make a variation of a sandwich that way. But decided that I'm going to go with the second option, which is going to be a lunch for my husband. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to make a yogurt, tomato, sausage, onion pasta sauce to put over pasta and give that to my husband for lunch. So that's what I'm doing today. So it's relatively simple to get this going. And what I really challenge you to do is take a look each week, you know, whatever day of the week works for you, at what is left over in your refrigerator. Now, some of the easy ideas for leftovers are sandwiches, soups are a great option, stir fries where you put something over noodles or rice, all seem to work well. But our refrigerators vary so often. Sometimes we may have fruit in there more than anything. Sometimes we may have enough to feed a whole family a meal. And sometimes our leftovers are a meal. You know, we might have half of a casserole or something left. By all means, if you have that, use it. But I like the idea of trying to use my leftovers because food, quite frankly, is just very expensive these days. And just like money doesn't grow on trees, I guess some food kind of grows on trees, fruits. But this is just a good way to use up some leftovers for me. And I think it's kind of fun to share with you what I'm going to do. Plus it keeps me incented to actually keep doing it. So my plan is to keep doing this through the summer, and I'll see how it goes, you know, to go into to the fall or whatever. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking and chopping up what I have left here, and then I'm going to put this in a pan and fry this up. I'll season it with some salt and pepper and add some yogurt, probably some oregano, maybe a little bit of garlic powder, and we'll see what we end up with. So stay tuned. Okay, I started by adding some olive oil and letting that get warm, and then I added my onions with a sprinkle of pepper, and then my sausages, which I cut up. And I'm now going to add my tomato and get that stirred up. I decided not to salt anything yet, simply because the sausage itself has quite a bit of salt. So I'm going to let this tomato cook down, and then I'll go back with the next step. My tomato is cooked down where it's soft and everything's hot, so I'm going to add a couple of good dollops of yogurt to this. If I can get out of the container with one hand here, I think one more. And this should make a pretty creamy sauce. And then I'm going to add a sprinkle of oregano to this also, just to give it a little bit of Italian flair. And I think all I really want to do with this yogurt is blend this in. Now I might have to add just a little bit of milk to this to thin it out, but we'll see how this comes together. Okay, so the sauce came together really nice. The yogurt is pretty tart, a little more than my husband wants, so I decided to add a good sprinkling of Parmesan cheese to this as well. And I think once that is heated, I am going to add that to the pasta, and we'll see what it looks like. All right, my leftover pasta sauce is done. I ended up with adding a little bit of Parmesan cheese to what I originally thought, but it actually came together really well. Definitely a nice sauce. And my pasta is just finishing, so let me grab that out of the microwave. And we'll put this all together and see what it looks like. So I have a pasta cooker that I use because literally it's a strainer and a cooker in one, and in the microwave. So I'm just going to drain this in the sink, like so. And I think this sauce might actually be enough to serve 2 of us. So we're gonna take this off and put this together and see what it looks like. I decided to use some linguine today, just because I had some. Spaghetti would have worked, elbow macaroni would have worked too. And we're gonna put some of this sauce on here. And again, this was just leftover bratwurst, tomato, yogurt, red onion. And after I got going, I thought about it and I thought, well, I could have taken the onion and the tomato and dehydrated that. Frequently, if my dehydrator is going, I'll see what else is in my refrigerator that I can dehydrate. So I keep, like here's some dehydrated tomato that I've got going right now. And I'll keep that, and when I get enough of it, then I'll go ahead and powder it down. So I want a little bit of color to this. So I went outside and got some fresh chives that I'm just going to sprinkle them on there. And that certainly makes it just a little bit more attractive. One thing you might not be aware of is the flowers, the buds from the chives, totally edible. Wash them out actually, wash them off actually to, you know, remove any little critters that might be in there. But when they're small and tender, the onion flavor, the chive flavor is mild. When they're a little bit older like these, it's going to give you a big bite of burst, like almost like biting into an onion. But anyway, this is the finished dish. It was a good way to use leftovers. I have enough here that we'll both be able to have a lunch on this. Let me see how it tastes. I ended up adding the Parmesan primarily because my husband's not a yogurt fan, though a lot of times I'll use yogurt as sour cream and he never knows the difference. Let me see what this tastes like. I can't tell that's yogurt anymore at all. I can taste the chives, or the onion I should say, the red onion and the tomato. This would be really good with shrimp too, actually, now that I think about it. It's creamy, it's good. I probably would put a little bit more pepper on it because my husband's a big pepper eater. I'm glad I didn't put any more salt on it because the sausage had a lot of salt. So again, take a look in your refrigerator, challenge yourself, see what you can dehydrate to save, see what you can do to put together another meal. Would love to hear what you're doing. If this gave you some ideas, I sure would appreciate a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. I'm going to try and continue Fridge Day Friday through the summer. There'll be a couple of weeks that won't be available because I'll be traveling. But I hope you like what I did today, and I thank you for watching.